Hello, athletes and fans of bodybuilding. Tarek Gindi with the Mr. Olympia. We're done with prejudging men's bodybuilding. I got the experts here, the real deal, Chris Cormier and Bob Ciccarillo. It looks like we have a battle between Martin Fitzwater, Tonio Burton, and Nick Walker. Do you agree with that statement, Bob?
Well, that's the battle. Only beef stew to add to that list. That's your top four. That's the order. That's going to be the important thing here tonight. And I think it might come down to tonight the confirmation around the scoring and the pose down. I think it's that close. I think you're looking at a one-point decision either way. So whether it's Nick or whether it's Martin, those are the two the people are talking about. I got Martin by a point. I got the upset tonight with Martin. My man Quinton, we all know, came up a little short, a little bit flat, kind of overdid it a little bit, but he'll be back stronger than ever in the next competition. Don't count him out. He worked his way up into about maybe fifth or sixth at best. But the two-man battle right now is Martin and Nick, and I got Martin by a nose.
Okay, so you still have Nick Walker not winning this event.
Well, listen, let's break this down, okay? This is pro bodybuilding, and this is the New York Pro, okay? We always talk about checking the boxes and all that kind of stuff. You can't discount, and you know this because you're a judge, shape, symmetry, proportion, size, right? All that, conditioning, presentation. But you can't just take those first four boxes and just get rid of them. If you go by who's got all those checked off, it goes to Martin Fitzwater. Okay? Nick checks off a few of his own boxes. He's got thickness, he's got size, very good from the side, right? Presentation, you can kind of pick either way. They both, did very well. But when you put all that together and you say, if this was an NPC overall, okay, it would be an easy pick. You go, oh, I think Martin's better overall. It's the same thing in the pros. Listen, Nick is very formidable. Yes, he has been as high as third in the Olympia, but that was then and this is now. And Martin's physique from just a year or two ago is dramatically different today. And you saw, listen, he was out there, and I would say it's probably a good 70-30 of people I talked to that got Martin actually in the lead, not Nick. Nothing against either one of them. That's the way I saw it.
Chris Cormier, you picked Nick Walker to win the event. And do you stand by that decision after watching the prejudging?
I still stand by it, although I got to say, Martin is drastically different from the Detroit show till now. And also, but I still gonna go with my pick with Nick. Just has that raw muscle, and I just got to go with Nick because he just stood out to me as the most complete, not most complete, but most polished physique in the competition.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, Martin Fitzwater definitely brought an improved physique from Detroit. I agree with both of them. Nick Walker looks massive. A lot of people criticize his guest posing. They're not talking right now. They're really looking at Nick as really pulling himself and bringing the conditioning. We got Tonio Burton. I mean, you have not talked to me about Tonio Burton.
Let me tell you something. Tonio Burton is no joke, and I think he proved that here today. For anybody that was a naysayer, we've referred to him as a young Dexter Jackson early in his career. I think he did nothing but actually prove that on stage today. This kid is good. He's well put together, and he's very complete from head to toe. He didn't really give up a whole lot of ground. He needs just a little bit of maturing, a little bit more muscle on his frame. He doesn't have the biggest frame in the world. But I got Tonio in third and Beef Stew fourth place. Let me tell you, he's big. He's got a lot of muscle, but I got him being edged out by a hair.
Another decision by a hair.
I see that.
That's Beef Stew. He's got the hair.
Yes.
He's going against Tonio Burton, possibly fighting for third, fourth. They at some point Tyler had Tonio and Martin in the middle, which a lot of people thought it was like a fight for second. We don't know what's going on. I love when he's mysterious. But what do you think about Beef Stew? I agree with Bob. He is bigger than previous shows.
Beef Stew, I love the guy. He has to do a little something different with his midsection there. I don't know if it's too much food. I don't know if he's carved up too much. But I started a little bit of fullness that lacked the muscularity in the midsection for Beef Stew for me. Also was kind of critical with Tonio. He came in different. I mean, he changed up some of the lines that was lacking in his quads from the show in Brazil. And also, I think he improved his abs a little bit, although I still going to be a little critical with the guy because I have high hopes for this guy to be a great champion in the future. I want to see a little bit more muscularity out of his lower abs around the belly button area. Just there, can just suck that in a little bit more and contract the obliques a little bit more, and I think there's going to be a better package there. almost like a Dexter Jackson in that area. That's what I want to see out of him, and a little bit more muscularity in the back of a bicep, and I think he's going to be a champion.
Okay, let's talk about your pick to win this event. Quentin Beastwood. Now, Bob, I got to give you credit. You were not the only one high on Quentin Beastwood. Sean Ray actually picked Quentin Beastwood to win this event, but it looked like he is not at his best.
No, clearly not at his best. But what you saw a month ago was better than what you saw here today. And listen, we're still high on Quentin because he's a great future prospect here in the IFBB Pro League. This was not his day. Clearly, two things have gone on. He lost a lot of muscle coming down to get in this condition. Then you go, well, geez, he could have been in even better condition. That's because he's flat. Okay? When you bring it down too much, and it's probably just a long, drawn-out diet, he's a big guy. And if you go look at the videos and the pictures he put out a month or two ago, he's two different people. But he brought it down too much. He lost a lot of that mass up through the upper chest, clearly, and the upper body in particular. Legs still look good. Started coming alive a little bit as he was going. But that's what happens when you're flat. And sometimes it can get even worse. And sometimes you can actually get a little bit of, stuff coming back as you keep posing. That was about even, Steven, when it came to that. He came back, but it wasn't great. But he did work himself back up into the mix. Fighting for 5th or 6th. But listen, he'll fight another day. I'm telling you, they got to get his regimen down for like the last 2-3 weeks. He just brought it down way too much, lost way too much muscle. Look for him to rebound. I'm telling you, this guy will be in the winner's circle sometime this year.
Chris, Bob picked Quentin Beastwood to win this event. Now he jumped on the bandwagon of Martin Fitzwater. He's been destroyed here on the comments. Guys, continue to comment here. Obviously, we like to
Come on, Warriors, let's go.
keep on hammering those comments. Bob is now going for Martin Fitzwater. So just keep pouring the comments right there. Let us know exactly how you feel about Bob struggling to make a pick here. But what do you think about, Bob Cicherillo? Bob Cicherillo went from Quentin Beastwood. Now he's on Martin Fitzwater. What do you think about these changes that Bob is making?
Well, Bob is obviously trying to rekindle his Hadi Chupon pick. He's trying to do the same thing, but the Swami is not hitting the same. But I'm telling you, I'm a big fan of Quentin Eastwood. I think that he can totally turn this whole thing around. It seemed like he has a lot of frame for the muscle that he had. I don't know if he ate up a little bit of muscle coming in, because it made it like he was a little bit more skin than muscle than the tightness around the muscle.
Chris.
Yeah, but the whole lower half, I got to tell you, was dynamite. And it's just going to be a matter of time where we can get it all together. Not we, but he and his team can get it all together. I've even helped this cat with some training and such in the past, and I see a lot of potential in this guy. I'm still going to remain steady that he will be a future champion, and it's only a matter of time.
Chris, you think that's overtraining, over dieting? He looks over-dieted to me.
He had so much muscle leading in. That's what I don't understand. He had so much muscle, and like you said, a few weeks ago, we saw what he can bring, and he was bringing it, but then somehow I think they just overshot.
A little too much.
Yeah, overshot.
Possibly over-dieted, looks a bit flat. But listen, the guy has tremendous genetics, and like they both said, and I agree with both of you guys, he is a very top prospect in the IFBB Pro League. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we still have a disagreement. Bob Cicherillo thinks Martin Fitzwater wins the finals, and Chris Cormier thinks that Nick Walker wins the New York Pro. One of them will be wrong. And I'll be happy to ask the question why he did pick the wrong person to win. My name is
Hang on before you get your name.
Well, just wait a second.
I can tell you this right now.
I'll tell you what.
Both of us got something to
Tell
say
you
now.
what, yeah, we got something to say.
It's going to be a one-point decision either way, okay? I don't care who wins. If Nick wins or if Martin wins, it's going to be a one-point decision, if not tied, going into the finals tonight in the Poznan. That's how close it is, because you can make a case for either one of these guys right now. I just think overall that Martin's a little bit sharp. He's definitely in better condition than Nick. Of that, there's no question. Nick's got more muscle, all right? But if you're checking boxes, and you know I like to check my boxes, right? I think you're going to see Martin Fitzwater get that Olympia qualification, Chris.
But that's like having a lottery ticket that's been thrown away in the trash. You picked it up, Bob, and you pieced it together, and you changed the numbers.
analogy is that?
Because
What?
my lottery ticket is going to win, and that's the only way you can do it because I picked it from the start. You got someone else's ticket, and you trying to cash it in at the end. No, Bob.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us know who is wrong.
Worst analogy
Is
I've ever
Bob
heard.
Cicarillo out of his mind, or is Chris Cormier high as a kite? We'll see what happens. My name is Tarek Ogindi with the two great experts. We'll see you next time.